Today we're on the hunt for a baby name that is old-fashioned but still young feeling, maybe nature-themed, maybe has a location name, and Lane is going to be either the first or middle name, so we need a name that sounds good with Lane. Names they like are in bold. Based on those, I thought Mabel, Harriet, Alice, Emery, Piper, Avery, Quinn, Parker, Sloan, Harlow, Briar, Celine, Margaret, Scarlett, Hollis, Willow, Layton, and Reese. I included my little breakdown about my 2 cents on middle names. So I find people gravitate towards one of 3 types of like middle name pairings. So one that has mirroring sounds. So like Lyra Lane would be a mirroring middle name one that's complementary sounds. So Lane is pretty soft. So something like Iris Lane, even though the sounds aren't mirrored, they complement one another. And others like contrasting sounds. So Lane is a little softer. So you could do something that has like harder sounds like Lane Cassidy. With Lane being a 1-syllable name, I feel like 75% of other 1-syllable names might sound a little awkward with it. So here's some 2- and 3-syllable girl names. The older sisters both have H names, and just in case we're trying to follow that theme, here are some H girl names in order of most popular to least. A lot of the names they're liking include the L sounds. I also love the idea of a name that has an L sound in there to complement Lane. I included a bunch of lists of names with different endings. We are avoiding LA endings. Got a whole category on vintage but young names, just list after list here, and a whole section on nature-inspired girls' names. This earthy girl name list is one of my favorites. And then some place names. Breaking it down into categories as always, my H name suggestions were Haven, Harlow, Hallie, Harmony, and Hollis. With Lane having that long A sound in there, I thought other names that mirror that could sound really pretty with it. So Ada Lane or Lane Ada. Same with Esme. I know this is a big argument, Naomi versus Naomi. For the purpose of this consultation with the sounds in Lane, I think Lane Naomi or Naomi Lane would be really pretty. Macy and Renee. I am a sucker for alliteration, and L alliterations I think are my favorite for names out of all the letters. Maybe S's, but I love L's. So Loretta Lane, Lane Loretta, Felicity, Leona, Marceline, Noelle. All of those I love with Lane, and you can really flip-flop with like which one's gonna be the first name. There are so many great place names, so I was really trying to hone in on the vintage but still young feeling. So Geneva Lane, Lane Geneva, Florence Lane, oh I love that one, Lydia Lane, Delphine, and Bethany. Nature names, I was really liking the idea of one that had an L in there. So Opal, Flora, and Pearl with the L's, and then Rosemary and Iris. I also like Rosemary with the nickname Romy, and I thought Romy Lane sounded so cute. Finally, wild cards, names that I do love the idea for them, but I didn't think were going to be the final picks, so I always put them in the honorable mention / wild cards instead of categorizing them. So Melody, Ramona, Mallory, Laurel, Diane, Beatrice, Colette, Susanna, Daphne, and Josephine. I would love to know what name you would pair with Lane and whether you would make Lane the first or the middle name. I actually really love the idea of it as a first name because I feel like it's kind of fresh. We don't hear that one so often anymore. Yeah, we'd love to hear your suggestions. I hope everyone's having a great day.